Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Wendy. How are you?
I am fabulous. Fabulous.
Back from an awesome weekend with the Dolphins. And that's what this session's really going to be about, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know, there's some lessons there in all of it. It's just it was just a brilliant weekend. It was so peaceful, and it, you know, when we look at I look at animals as being a healing force for the world. But these are majestic. It's just really, there's so much peace and calm, but so much excitement and adoration, I would say, because they're just amazing. The only thing that I'll have to tell you, because I had a blonde moment where we've gone over there, I'm thinking, yeah,
or a grey moment.
Yeah, a grey moment. We're going to go and feed these dolphins, so I put my shorts and my shirt on, and we've gone over there, but school holidays. So where we went, for everyone at home, we went to Tin Can Bay to do the dolphin feeding. It was my daughter's birthday, and it was something on her bucket list, like something that she'd always wanted to do. And I was like, you know what, let's just do it. Per chance, we had friends who have moved up there, and they've bought a place, which is, the dolphins actually come up to their jetty for free. Like, it's just where we stayed.
That's so awesome.
Where we stayed, the jetty that the dolphins come up to was like straight out our sliding glass door.
Wendy, how special is that?
It was just brilliant. So if you're looking at going up to Tin Can Bay, you have to go and stay at number 1 the Esplanade, because that's where they are, and that's where so what they've bought a 2-story home with a cottage and 4 units on it. And
wow, great.
And the units hadn't been rented out for a long time. So what they're doing is renovating them all and making them
beautiful.
Yeah, going to have them available for people to stay at. But yeah, so we stayed there, and we caught up with friends that we hadn't seen, you know, for a couple of years. And that was fantastic. And, you know, so much so that we're going back. We're going to go back, and Glenn's actually going to, you know, give a hand to do some of the stuff. But yeah, it's like, so we got up there Friday night, took my new little addition with me, and he's a healer of his own. He's done so much good work already with my family, and that's my new little blue staffy. And
it's frozen.
Are you good?
I've actually frozen this in, Wendy.
Oh, now you're free.
I was going to say it froze on my end. I'm really sorry. It's saying my internet's unstable. I haven't had that for a long time, but I must admit probably the last 3 weeks it's been a bit rocky. I wonder if it's because everyone's home and they've got a lot more people using it than they normally do. So my apologies, everybody out there. I'm really sorry, and sorry to interrupt you, Wendy.
That's okay. Mercury retrograde. Let's put it down to that.
Well, this is true. This is true.
Yeah, that's the tech. Yeah, so we went up, we got up there Friday night, caught up, and so Bruce said to us, like, in the morning, don't be disappointed if you don't get in, because he said because it happens every day, and every day they were getting like 200 people to feed these dolphins, and because they don't determine how many dolphins come in for how many can be fed. But this is a quota that can be fed to each dolphin each day. You can't just keep feeding them.
Well, of course, yeah, you make them all sick.
Yeah, so they have a bucket, and you buy a ticket to be able to feed, and that guarantees you a fish. So anyway, we get dressed to go over, and off we go. And it's got a beautiful little, it's called the Barnacle Cafe. And so we went over, we got our ticket, I got in line, waited, so we were over there like just after 6 o'clock, waited in line, got inside. It opened at 7, so, you know, by the time we got through the line up and whatever, and then we went and had a look. They do like a little information session that you can go and just watch them frolicking around while the 2 people talk about the dolphins. And then I just went, oh, like, let's go and have some brekkie, like go and have a cuppa and whatever.
Yeah,
And
great.
as it turned out, I thought we were going to be like, as soon as they said, oh, the feeding's going to start, this beautiful lady who works there, who's a volunteer there, I went to the line and she said, you coming in a line? She said, all my family and friends, I tell them to wait until the end because you're always guaranteed a fish. But let the crazy stuff go first. Like, just
good idea.
Be really relaxed. Go and sit down and have your coffee and have your brekkie. And when the line starts to peter out, then come over, which we did. But high tide was coming in.
Oh.
So we've gone down to walk down to feed these fish.
Oh, no.
To the dolphins.
There.
Yeah, we got there. But I had no, like, I just didn't even think to put swimmers. I took my swimmers with me. But why didn't I put them on?
Well, I guess you didn't think about it, really.
Oh, anyway. So we got in, and it was like, you feed them, and we had Patch, who's the oldest. He's the one that determines how many dolphins come in. He's like the head of the honcho dolphins. But my daughter
got a really funny picture of the fat controller on Thomas the Tank just then.
Yeah. So my girl fed first, and then I had my turn, and it was just the whole experience that turned out to be, we were gone from just after 6 until nearly 9 o'clock, or a bit after 9 o'clock. So it's for 3 hours. Wow. I'll just cherish that time. It was beautiful. It was just so beautiful. I've got an older daughter, for the listeners. My daughter just turned 37. Yeah. And and so those times where you sort of take them for granted, really, those when they're younger, and you get to have those special moments with them. But it has got me thinking now, because you can do the early morning feed at Tinkham Bay, but if you go and stay over at Tangalooma, you can do the nighttime swim and feeding with the dolphins. So,
and just for those that aren't familiar with the area, which includes me, that's all still up in Queensland, isn't it?
Yes. So Tangalooma is a resort on Moreton Bay. Moreton Bay Island.
Oh, so is this all out in Moreton Bay Island?
Yeah. So you go out, you catch the ferry, you go across to Tangalooma, which is on Moreton Bay Island, and if you don't want to go to Tangalooma, there is, like, the ferry will take you there. Then you can go across to the other side of the island. Right. There's houses that you can rent and whatever over there. Right. Okay. Holiday homes. But yeah, so I've sort of been thinking about whether or not we don't book a weekend and, go over sort of on a Friday and come back on a Sunday, or, take the Friday off and go over Thursday night and come back on a Sunday, and have a couple of days of being able to go and swim with the dolphins and feed them. You and I need
to talk about this further. And sorry for cutting you off, but I'm just like, excitement's building inside me. We could actually look at some accommodation over there and take a retreat over there, couldn't we?
Yes, we could.
Let's talk about that offline later.
Yeah, they have conference rooms and everything. Like, I just love it over there. They have, my first experience there was, we went over for a day trip.
Yep.
We went over in the morning. You played in all the facilities at the resort, and then you had this massive smorgasbord lunch. Then you had swims and whatever, and then the ferry left at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon to take you back.
Oh, wow.
And then the next time we went over for 10 days and stayed at the resort for 10 days. And you'd be surprised the amount of people who come up and use their facilities there to be able to have like mini conferences and that, retreats.
What a place to have a conference. That would be pretty special, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And, for a time it was getting a little bit, a little bit oldish when they first, how everything ages.
Yeah.
But apparently they've just done all the accommodation up over there. So I'd love to go over and that's my plan, is to go over and go over for a weekend and do that swim with the dolphins and you know what I'm like, I'm allergic to the cold, so it's got to be like February
Yes.
is the latest, because February is always the time when I'll get into the pool the most.
And Wendy
And the hottest.
literally is allergic to the cold. She's not just saying I'm allergic to the cold as in she's cold, but she literally has a condition where the cold weather, which is why she lives up in Queensland.
Oh, but I just had it this morning. I had to have the fan on for my boy and my nose started. So it was like, here we go again. Like, so even though it's, due to be 31 or something here today, it's 27 out there now.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's supposed to get very hot.
We are getting some warm weather. We had 30 yesterday, so that was nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that's, I'm really enjoying that with my summer by the pool. Thursday's back to 30. Today and tomorrow is a little bit cooler. I've only got 27, but hey, I'll take anything.
Yeah. Well,
but sorry, back to your dolphins. Sorry to interrupt everybody.
But yeah, there was what was there, 6 or 7 dolphins came in. One was a baby calf, and but just to see that, like, it's just so natural. There's no like these animals are available for people to go and see in theme parks, but this is in their natural habitat. They voluntarily swim in there, and you're not allowed to touch them.
Yeah, great. So they're really well protected and looked after, which is lovely.
Yeah, and it's just the whole area is just beautiful. It's just really so if anyone's looking at going on I believe that for me, I could go there for a week and I would absolutely love it. I would be able to walk my dog every day because it's flat. Now where I live, I've got 2 killer hills, like they're heartbreak hills, I call them, because I love to walk. But as soon as I walk out there, I'm heartbroken because I've got they just kill me to walk up. But yeah, I could go up there and walk and go to feed the dolphins and go into the water and go fishing and there's so much there that
and so you can obviously take your dogs with you. Yeah,
just really relaxed. Yeah.
Wow, that's lovely.
So I'm so pleased that we did it. I am absolutely stoked that we did it. My girl was so thankful. It's been a long time since I've seen her that calm and in that state of gratitude, where they really bathe in it.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, it was a really special time.
Very happy for you.
Yeah. And of course, being so close to Christmas, so close to New Year, then I come back and people say to me, what about your New Year's resolutions? And I said, I didn't make any.
None for me either.
No, I didn't make any. I see weight loss, you lose some weight, and the sobriety and not to say that's not that's
you have to do you, don't you?
Absolutely,
you really
have to do you. But I think it's just a personal choice. Now, Wayne Dyer always said it, is it you do it every day, just do one more day.
Exactly.
And if it's to give up smoking, it's just 5 more minutes.
That's
just
right.
keep delaying it for 5 more minutes until finally you break that cycle.
And as we know, every day is a brand new day. Every minute is a brand new minute. Every hour, every second. It's we put too much pressure on ourselves. And we were having this conversation earlier, how our hardest critic and we always talk about this. We just have to be kinder to ourselves. We really have to just be kinder to ourselves.
Yes, we do. Well, as we do.
Which is why I'm enjoying, you've probably seen it on screen. I have a massive pot of cacao, ceremonial cacao. Beautiful. Because people would probably be saying, oh, what's she wasting that, But for me, just to open the heart space today, it's just where I really need to be. And I don't always do this, but I can use my cacao however I choose. And today I choose to do it in this group and just allow that energy to really, I guess I was feeling a bit, let's catch up to Wendy after her being with the dolphins and having that heart space so opened.
Yeah.
Let's get out there and this is a great, easy, quick way to open that heart space.
Yeah. Look, I would recommend the dolphin feeding for anyone. Like it was just, it's not fancy. It's not, there's no airs and
Doesn't have to be
graces.
fancy, does it?
It's just nature, and it truly was a beautiful experience, and more for, you know, you could feel that heart cracking open while you were like in that 3 hours that we had together. In that experience, it was just magical, absolutely magical.
I
Beautiful.
would love you to share that link with me, and maybe we'll pop it in the link as well for anyone that if they want to look into that experience, because I certainly would. I would love to take my grandson and my daughter that's up in Queensland to something like that, because I think that would just be a wonderful experience for our family as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, yes, it is a 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. you got to be there, and usually like school holidays, there was a lot of people, but you just be patient, and there's always going to be enough, because
it's a bit like the seat on the plane, isn't it? You know, you've got a number on the plane. Why do you have to jump up and rush off the plane? I always wait till, you know, I'm just like, yeah, just go. You're not going to push me out. I'll just do it in my time.
Yeah.
That's probably why you enjoyed it even so much more, because you took that step back, and you said you didn't have your swimmers, but who cared? Does it matter?
No, it was just
it tells you what you can
we took a towel, so I was just able to, you know, I made some comments like to my daughter, you know, I look like I'm a child again, and I've had the accident, because that's just what I look like. But
who cares?
Yeah. Oh, you know, I didn't care at all, not at all. It was something special.
You were just embracing the experience, weren't you?
Oh God, it was good. It was so good. It was just phenomenal. I would recommend it.
What was the best part for you? Like, tell me about, you know, you said you were there a few hours, like 3 hours or something. So what, or was just the whole experience just like a package?
Well, the whole experience was like a package, but I have to tell you, the most beautiful, like it was just peace and serenity, was sitting on that jetty outside our unit, and like where we were staying, and the dolphin just there, like just frolicking around. It was just something out of Storm Boy, or, you know, one of those kinds of movies. You think, wow, and these people live like this. This is what they live with every day.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
And it's about
like,
choice.
That's special.
Sometimes.
Yeah. How special is that?
Yeah, you know? No, please. I'm excited to I love things like that. I just love being in nature, just connecting with nature.
And the authenticity of everyone that volunteered there for the day, and they are all volunteers, they're not paid. They don't, no one gets paid.
Isn't that wonderful? What a job though, for volunteering. Oh my goodness, sign me up. And
those women, because it was all women in the water, they stand there with the bucket with the dolphin beside them, and the dolphin that comes to know them, so it's nudging them, and like, you know, they're just beautiful, and there's such a relationship. But they've got so much knowledge, like they have immersed themselves because they've lived in the area and grown. Like this is not just something that they've done like the last sort of 5 or 10 years, but they've been there for such a long time that they've embraced every part of the history of why they come in there and whatever. So I just, even just you sharing that, Wendy, just gives me so much internal joy. It's just like I'm just, as you were talking about it, I could see them in the water with the buckets and the dolphins, and just embracing that beautiful energy just of that. I feel the knowledge, the expertise, the wisdom, the power of the water, the energy of the dolphin. It was like the women who were speaking, telling the story, like telling the history, were speaking from like the mouthpiece of the dolphins. Wow. It was like, we've been here, this is why we come here, this is, you know, so they've been coming in there. Sorry, it's only at Chincan Bay. So is it only at certain times of the year? No, it's all year round. But they've been doing that for 73 years. They've been feeding the dolphins at those. No, so it's just passed down through the ages, more or less. Yeah. But for 73 years they've been feeding the dolphins there.
Wow. And do they have children in there, or is it just adults?
Just
Like
adult.
what age do they start to go, what age does that get handed on to somebody else?
I would say that the youngest lady that was there maybe would have been mid-40s, late 40s.
Okay. Yeah, so a bit like elders to a certain degree. It's like
Yeah.
I just
the
love the fact that
it's look, seriously, I took a video because they said to me, like you can turn the flash off, but you can take a video, and they suggest you take a video because you can take a still off a video.
Of course, yes.
But you could miss the whole experience if you didn't. And so I took the video, and but I took a lot of stills as well. But when I had the video on, like from the dolphin taking the fish to the video is like a foot and a half. Like it's just magic. Magic. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
wow. That's awesome. That is.
And even when you walk down into
feel
the
your
water,
energy. It's just like, it's electrifying.
Yeah. But even when you walk down into the water, it's not commercialized. It's not a nice flat, concrete path. It's
natural.
Sand and rocks, and it's like this is the jetty, and you got to sort of walk out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they take care with kids and whatever in there, but on the whole,
yeah.
Little kids, because of the tide, they were lifted up. But
wonderful experience.
10-year-olds and up, I guess, they were all standing there in the water, sort of with the water up to their chest, but they were standing there in the water feeding the dolphins. So yeah,
that just gives me cold shivers. That just absolutely, lights my joy.
Oh, it was like, I'm serious. I'm so pleased that we did it for my girl, but the whole experience it just touched me too. Like it was just I'll go back again.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? You did something for your daughter as a gift for her birthday, yet all of you got to experience something very special and magical.
Yeah, got so much out of it. It's amazing. Absolutely
That's
amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Really,
and I think in life you need a disruptor.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that disruptor was that weekend. I think that especially for my girl, being able to, it was start of the new year, being able to, get your feet onto the path that you really want to be on. That was like, okay, I get to do it now. And yeah. So
that's beautiful.
It just such a blessing that they go there,
How wonderful. What a magical place.
Yeah. Yep. And the accommodation will be up, and they're taking their first bookings from the 1st of March.
Wow.
Which is right there. Which where the jetty is. So, and I even said to my husband, the Barnacles Cafe is for sale. And I said, I'd really like to buy that. But they won't guarantee you a lease on the building, because they just, I guess to a certain degree they can't, because they don't, like, no one knows what's going to happen.
No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow in an hour.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it would be, so, even sitting down having our breakfast in there, because it's just like this big shed, and they just had tables and chairs in there. But there's just one of the locals came along with his guitar, and he just sat there and he was just strumming the guitar. And it's like so early in the morning. Like this is like 7:15, 7:30 in the morning. But it was just beautiful. The whole thing was, it was so surreal. I still have to pinch myself to think that we've actually done it. It's just like,
how beautiful is that? That is absolutely beautiful.
But I will do it again when we go back up again. Glenn and I will do it the next time, and I dare say that both my kids will come, because they both will want to do it again. Melissa will want to do it again. But Glenn was there, but he was looking after Odin, and he was with our friends. So he's, away you go over and do it. So
that's beautiful. What a wonderful experience.
Oh, it was. It was just phenomenal. I'm so grateful that we got the opportunity to do that. Like it's, I think I've known about it for years.
Yeah. But obviously,
Years.
as we know, divine timing.
Yeah,
And
my nephew used to live there, and I'd go up to visit, but and I knew that the dolphin feeding was there. It was just like, oh yeah, dolphin feeding's there, but I won't be able, it was because I guess it's only in that all the dolphins have to be fed by 8:30.
right.
And
Okay.
so they only do 30-minute feeding. So you're there
Yes.
from 7 until 8 for all the information, and then they start the dolphin feeding at 8 o'clock and it's done by 8:30. So
Oh, brilliant.
yeah, so it was, I've always known that it's there, but it was always, in hindsight, I'll never do that because I'll never be there that early, or I won't get the opportunity to. Whereas we were really I was on purpose. Like I wanted to do that for my girl. And lucky that we had friends that were there, but we were prepared to stay at a motel if we needed to, to be able to have the experience. And I would do it all over again. I would stay, at the caravan park or wherever to have that same experience again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty special, isn't it? And what a wonderful way to start 2023.
Oh, magical. Just magical.
Yeah.
It just, do you know what, that kind of, I think for both of us, for her and I, for Melissa and I, that sort of says all things are possible.
Yes.
That's it, kind of rips the Band-Aid off. There being any hindrance to being able to do what you want to do.
Nothing's impossible. Unlimited possibility.
Yeah. No, it was wonderful.
It really is the simple things sometimes, isn't it?
Well, we gave her things and she said, Mum, this was the most, like this one means the most to me.
Yeah, that's great.
And you know what? It cost me $20.
Isn't that brilliant?
$10 each.
Oh,
well,
is that all the
and then
with
and then I mean with breakfast and I got her a couple of like a bookmark and stuff. I think in total I would have probably spent maybe $30, $35.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
One of the other things I got, it cost me like 3 times that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that one there was the most. You're not just getting a gift. That was making memories.
And I think that's a big thing. And I've always, for not always, but for a long time now, I've been trying to say, and my girls have already talked about it. This year, we actually did homemade gifts. And they're already saying, can we do that again? Like last Christmas, we did homemade gifts. And they're already saying, let's do homemade gifts again. Because we all really appreciated that fact of not getting caught up in the economics of it all, but actually getting caught up more in the heart, where it comes from the heart. Yeah,
you're showing that you really get that person, that person, know what you feel that they would love is what you make them, isn't it?
That's really right. And I think the joy that goes into creating, and the love and the kindness and creativity that comes from yourself as you're creating as well for somebody else that you care about. Yeah. And so the thought and energy that you put into that, I bet you had no idea of the results that you were going to get back from it. You knew it was going to be wonderful. But I bet you didn't realise the intensity of that wonder and that magic.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Which is really just brilliant, isn't it?
I mean, it was palpable afterwards. Yeah.
That is so good. That is so good.
And so, for anyone, it's Tin Can Bay, the dolphin feeding. You got to go.
Oh,
there.
My goodness.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Tin Can Bay is around about 30 minutes towards the water from Gympie in Queensland. So if you're in Brisbane, it's going to be approximately 2 hours, a bit over 2 hours to Gympie. and by car, and then from Gympie out to Tincan is about 30 minutes. So
Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is, I can't wait to do a little bit of research around that because that sounds so exciting.
yeah. And for anyone who hasn't driven the Sunshine Coast, it is heaven to be on the highway there, and you've just surrounded.
It's
like
so
you're
easy,
driving,
isn't it?
there's parts of there. I mean, there's some that they're doing all the development on, but there's the parts there where you're driving along and it's just like you're in the middle of a rainforest. And to me, that's where I get that
Yeah.
sinking, that coming home feeling. It's just
So
like,
how far from Brisbane is it?
What did it take us? It took us, I mean, we pulled up to give the dog a run in Gympie. It's about 2 hours and 2.75 hours it took us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that
as you say, some of it's just magical to go through like a rainforest.
Oh, it's just, yeah. It's the energy of, as you're driving up there is something else. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's, oh boy, what an experience.
Yeah.
I look forward to going and trying it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we will connect in person then.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be chatting more about that offline, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well,
thank you for sharing that experience with us, Wendy. That was absolutely wonderful. And I don't know about our listeners out there, but I certainly got a lot just from that. Just the energy input was pretty incredible for me as well. So just the high vibe, the joy, just visualizing being in the water with the dolphins. And you know, I can't be there, but I certainly can take from that whatever I can, and I hope you do too.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
So until next week,
yes.
Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and follow us. You can also follow us on our socials, and we look forward to chatting again next week. Big hugs.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.